Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. Today is the first day we together gathering online or offline to learn the text. This is actually the Chinese version, but it has only Chinese version. There is no English translation yet. This is the lecture by Rizong Rinpoche. Rizong Rinpoche, he is the Ganden Tripa. This will we will discuss later. He was the one who will be able to represent Master Tsongkhapa. So that means he has well learned all these training in Mahayana and even Vajrayana tradition through this Gelug teachings. So he will be able to represent Master Tsongkhapa for us, even though we might not be able to learn directly from Master Tsongkhapa, but through this Ganden Tripa Rinpoche, we will be able to learn. Okay, so we will be talking about how this book would be able to publish and why this is so valuable, for people in Taiwan who want to learn Lanrim Chemo, and also through this text, we will be able to get the general idea of this stages on the path to enlightenment. So in tradition, there will be some chanting or some visualization. And in UOA, Unlimited Lights Academy, usually we will recite the name of Shakyamuni Buddha, and also we'll recite a verse, which we might not recite today, but simply to value this gathering, and especially the Dharma gathering, we can learn this Dharma teachings. And with this rare transmission that we can get through a lot of teachers, Dharma teachers, so it's valuable, and we need to cherish this occasion. So also through this prayer, before we start studying, the prayer will be mostly to ask for the blessings of the Shakyamuni Buddha, and also the past lineages of all these great gurus, these great Dharma teachers, would be able to empower us to have the ability to understand the text. And today we won't be going through some profound teachings, and I would like to have some discussion, if it's possible. And you all have this handout, translated mostly by AI, verified by some efforts. Me, I did some research. So if there is any errors, please point out, and we can correct that. And now let's do this simple prayer, and then we may begin our study. So join our palms. We pray in the name of Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. So may we all have the blessings of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the great teachers in the past, especially this Lamrim lineage, the transmission teachers, they will empower us to have this ability to understand Lan Chemo and be able to attain enlightenment without hindrances. Amitofo. So at the very beginning, Teacher Tang's way will be just go through every word. So we will do the same. So starting from the very first page, which we will see this biography, a brief biography of this Rizong Rinpoche. And when we see this, the king of Dharma, king of Dharma, when we talk about this king of Dharma, is not like the Dharma has a king, or there is a king that governs all Dharma. It is just like the one who would be able to explain all the teachings of the Buddha, who would be able to decipher all the teachings of the Buddha. So that we call the very person the king of Dharma. And in Gelug tradition, we will see this Ganan Tripa especially as the king of Dharma, because just like what I introduced, this Ganan Tripa who will be able to explain all these teachings through Master Tsongkhapa, or this lineage, Gelug tradition. He will be able to explain all the texts. Okay. And of course, he would have to go through the basic training from the monastery, at least like 15 to 20 years, and then would receive this tantric training, 6 years at least. And he has to be a master, in the monasteries, and also the later the tantric training. So it is really hard. It is really hard to achieve this. So usually will be some senior members in Gelug tradition, in Gelug monastery, to have this title, Ganan Tripa. Then that we know when anyone would who asks any questions, he would just answer with no difficulties. And he can even memorize all these teachings by heart. So it is a magnificent title. That's why in Chinese it said like 至尊甘丹赤八法王. That means like a supreme king of Dharma. Okay. So His Holiness the Gandan Tripa Rizong Rinpoche. Okay. So the text says 尊贵的第102任甘丹赤八法王日宗Rinpoche. Okay, so the word is on that. It says like Venerable 102nd Gandan Tripa Lama, or Rinpoche, J Rinpoche, Rizong Rinpoche. This J is actually a way, like honorific term, like to honor this very Rinpoche. So we call it J. Sometimes they will spell like Jey. There is a way to spell like that. But I also find this more popular way to show is a J, J, like J-E. Was born on the 8th day of the 4th month of the Tibetan lunar year, 2054. That's 1927。所以于藏历2054年4月8日西元1927年诞生在拉达克的王室So he was born into this royal family of Ladakh. So it was not in Tibet, but in Ladakh. That was a good thing. Why? Later we will explain. Okay. So in the young age, in his early years, 年幼时, he was recognized by the 13th Dalai Lama as the reincarnation of the great master Drupe Wangchok, this third J Rizong Rinpoche of Rizong Monastery. So this name is actually not his name. It says out of respect, we don't call him by name. We call him by the monastery, actually. Okay. So we know that he was from this Rizong monastery. So 年幼时被第13世达赖喇嘛法王认证为日宗寺大成就者竹背汪丘第3世日宗仁波切的转世。Okay. So when we talk about this, like reincarnation, so people would have this question: is it real reincarnated, like from the previous someone? Venerable?
It's a continuity of the person, but
Yeah.
not necessarily the exact person has been reborn.
The continuity of the person. Yeah, there can be two ways. One is the really that person, reincarnated to this person. Yeah, from the previous life until this lifetime. It's like somehow it's a continuous. But some cases they might not be the same person. Okay, not even from the previous lives. But why they say so? Why they say so? Probably because they need to have someone to guide the monastery. Yeah. And with some indication, they try to find that particular good child and then make this person into someone's incarnation. That's also possible.
Like a social element to it.
Yeah, some social element to it. And also, sometimes it's because of the environment that can create that kind of practitioner. Yeah. So with good conditions, yeah, all bring together, there is a possibility to train someone into a good Dharma teacher. Okay. At the age of 4, he moved to Rizong Monastery, where under the careful guidance and instruction of Venerable Totrim Gyatsen, a disciple of his previous incarnation, he began learning to read and to recite liturgical texts and ritual practices. 于4岁时移居日宗寺在其前世弟子簇亲却桑法师细心的照顾与教导下，开始学习阅读及背诵修法仪轨等课程。Okay, so what can we learn from this paragraph? Age of 4, being brought to the monastery, and then start teaching, receiving teachings from someone used to be his disciple, but now become his teacher. Okay. So it's always like that, like teacher and student, and then student become teacher to teach the next incarnation, like that. So they start to learn how to read, of course, and how to memorize all these liturgy texts, so that because it will be easier to memorize while you're still young. Okay. So what can we learn from this part? Okay, so it's like if you think that you are someone's incarnation, okay, if you have firmly believe, then that is also the drive to make you become one. Okay. So it's like the same thing. Like, are we a Buddhist? Yeah, probably is or not. Not yet. Yeah. But if you think that I'm going to become one, okay, and I'm one, now I'm learning as one to become a Buddhist, then yeah, you're on a track. You're on the way. Okay. So this is something. And then try to memorize, try to learn, and through teachers. And even though this person might know, or the teacher would say, I used to be your disciple. Okay. Then because you realize that you are actually so young. Okay. So you still have to learn from this person. Okay. So teacher and student, this kind of relationship is not always like students always learn from the teacher, but the teacher also learning from the students. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. By the age of 8, 8岁时, Rinpoche had completed a solitary retreat dedicated to Amitabha Buddha and presided over the conferment of the initiation of Amitabha, thereby demonstrating extraordinary ability. OK，8岁时仁波切即圆满无量寿佛的闭关，并主持无量寿佛的灌顶，展现非凡的能力。Okay, here, what kind of extraordinary ability or that kind of like different from other people? So this kind of confidence we can see. And why this Amitabha Buddha? So when many people talk about this Amitabha practice, like Pure Land practice is more popular in Chinese tradition, not in Tibet. But here we can see like Amitabha Buddha's this kind of retreat also taking place at the time in Ladakh. So this in the monastery in the very Tibetan influenced monastery. So it is not like different from the teachings that we are learning here. Like Pure Land practice and also these Mahayana teachings are all the teachings of the Buddha. Okay. And so he is very confident in leading this retreat and to show that, and even this guanting, this word is like empowerment kind of ceremony. So, like receiving directly from Amitabha Buddha's blessings or wisdom, like that. So he started to show that kind of ability. At the same time, he began studying a wide range of scriptures, including the great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment, 浪人切目. Okay? 在此同时，也开始学习菩提道次第广论等众多经论. So, very beginning, he started to study this Lamrim Chemo. Okay, so like knowing the steps to reach enlightenment. So this is so important. And now we are studying. Yeah. So, and of course, some other teachings. So we are also doing the same thing. And what he was doing, later he received the lay precepts from the seat of the Ali Rinpoche. Okay. And this Ali Rinpoche is was also a renowned teacher at the time who gave him this precepts. So he became a novice monk. So before he became a novice monk, see precepts to receive lay practitioners' precepts, and later he also received his precepts for the novice monk. So precepts are so important here. So we say like sila and then samadhi and prajna. All these three are important. So at the very beginning, he started to receive the lay precepts. So Mark, can you imagine what kind of like precepts for like lay practitioners, for example?
So 5 precepts?
Yeah, like 5 precepts, or even like what, Vivian?
You done both, right?
Oh, not yet. Not yet Bodhisattva precepts. Like,
What are 5 precepts?
or 10 wholesome deeds. Yeah. I always say we'll mention about like 10 wholesome deeds. Yeah. Or something for lay practitioners to cultivate on. Okay, to uphold. And as a novice monk, he also have to receive some precepts. Okay. Just most of the precepts for a novice monk will be what? Venerable, you know.
Similar to the 5 precepts, but then in addition, not touching money, not eating afternoon, not singing and dancing, not sleeping on high beds, these types
Yeah.
they have an impact on your lifestyle, so separate you from the secular world.
Mm.
So
why
it's not just
six
ethics, but also your behavior on a social level.
So why so significant at the very beginning?
Would this be when you would take the Bodhisattva precepts?
Yeah, this will be before you take down Bodhisattva precepts. Yeah. It's a novice monk.
Yeah, I mean, and it's important for him to become a novice if he's wishing, if the people around him as well are wishing for him to become this kind of excellent teacher or holder of the tradition. It starts creating a certain lifestyle and habit for him to deeply study on one level, right? Why in the Tibetan tradition, they quite often ordain young children and then give them the best education, right? So it's harder to change your habits, when you're 40 or 50 or 60 and then you wish to study. So they set the foundation right from the beginning.
Yeah. And this is also, of course, this will be the stepping stone for Rizong Rinpoche in the future to receive like holy ordination precepts, like bhikshus precepts. But also through these precepts, then he will be able to like concentrate on this renounced lifestyle. Yeah, like Venerable you just mentioned. Okay, and then subsequently, under the guidance of Bakula Rinpoche, he ordained as a novice and received the novice precepts, being bestowed the Dharma name, Bhutan Mima Long Talk Tenzin Norbu. Okay. Here in Chinese, 又于巴古拉仁波切座前出家受沙弥戒，获法名为图颠尼玛龙斗颠金诺布，并学习沙弥okay, later. So he received from this Bakula Rinpoche, who at the time people believed that he was an emanation of Amitabha Buddha. Yeah, so very interesting. He also received this a very beginning as a novice monk, this first precept. Okay, so as it is very important at the time to receive this precept from this Bakula Rinpoche. And he has this Dharma name, a very long Dharma name. And you can see the Norbu. Do you know Norbu? Norbu in Tibetan is like jewel. Yeah. So we call three jewels. So he can be the jewel. Yeah. That's kind of like an expectation. Yeah, hoping that one day he can be just like the jewel. So he also studied the rules of monastic conduct, which would be the novice monk precepts, Tibetan grammar, poetry, and the systematic exegesis. How's it? Exegesis. Exegesis of the Lamrim Chemo. This is in Chinese. It says, 并学习沙弥律仪、藏文文法、诗词及背诵菩提道次第广论的科判等. So this would be the outline of Lamrim Chemo. He has to memorize all this outline, and of course, almost the whole structure of the Lamrim Chemo stages to enlightenment. Okay, and at that time, Bakula Rinpoche instructed him to memorize the ornament of realization of perfection of wisdom. Okay, this is one text, and the introduction to the middle way as preliminary preparations for his future studies at the three great monasteries. And the three monasteries would be Sera, Dripang, and Ganda. Okay. So people online, if you want to share any insights or what you know about Tibetan Buddhism, please. Yeah, you may share so we can discuss together. And here it's a little bit noisy because happened to be the dinner time. So this very book, this in Chinese, it said 当时八古拉仁波切曾指示及其背诵现观庄严论与入中论，作为将来进入三大寺学习的缘起与前行准备. So before you enter to receive this form of training in the monasteries, you need to do some preparation. Yeah, like memorizing these outlines of Lamrim Chemo, and also this ornament of realization of the perfection of wisdom taught by Maitreya Bodhisattva. This very text is to show the Bodhisattva, like on the ground Bodhisattva. All these Bodhisattva who has reached this realization, emptiness realization, yeah, and started to practice the perfection of wisdoms. So kind of like setting this tone, like I'm going to become a Buddha in the future. Okay, I'm not going to be a practitioner dwelling in the mountain and just care about meditation, or just sitting in the woods and to realize the 12 causal links, yeah, as some kind of ascetic practitioner. But I am vowed to become a Buddha, okay, and to reach that ultimate enlightenment. Okay, so that is one. And then introduction to the middle way, which would be mainly talking about the emptiness, the teachings of emptiness. Yeah, this is Nagarjuna, but this book is of course explaining Nagarjuna's teachings. Yeah. But this very book is actually to explain the teachings of Nagarjuna. Yeah, like entering into the middle path, the middle way. So this is not from Nagarjuna, but the kind of like commentary to explain. But it's not like word by word commentary. It will be more like to have the basic understanding of emptiness, And there will be a lot of like debates when showing this 10 bhumis or 10 grounds as a bodhisattva. Yeah. Heading to the Buddhahood. Okay, become fully enlightened.
He's still at 8.
Oh yeah, this is in young age. He has to, but I think mostly will be memorizing all these texts, not actually understanding the texts yet, but just memorize them. So in the future, through guidance, he will be able to fully understand. Yes.
Shojin has a question or comment. You want to unmute yourself,
Yes, please.
Shojin?
Hi. Would this kind of coincide with the Longjong texts and 37 Bodhisattva practices at this point?
Longjun.
Lojong, like the mind transformation texts.
Oh,
The
I probably
37
know.
practices of the
Yeah,
Bodhisattva.
it's very similar. It's very similar, but it will be like 10 bhumis. We say like 10 grounds, 10 perfections of wisdom, like 10 um 10
10 levels,
10
stages
levels.
of a
Yeah,
bodhisattva's
10
development.
stages, yes. As a
Oh,
bodhisattva's training, to develop themselves and to become a fully enlightened Buddha. So but your question is that which text you are referring to? The
when I was referring to the 37 Bodhisattva practices.
Mhm. Yes, I
Uh,
know it's 大宝法王. One of the Tibetan teachers used to teach. Yes, this is very similar. But this entering into this introduction to the middle way is different. This text is different. And
okay.
yeah, this is different. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you. But I think this Ru Xing is more like a bodhisattva. How to become a bodhisattva, introduction of bodhisattva. For probably this translation is a little bit different. This will be a little bit should be corrected, I think. Yeah, because this should be entering like introduction of the bodhisattva path. That should be the text. Yeah. So there will be some kind of preparation. So yeah, no. Oh, sorry. I jumped. No, that one is right. Let's move on to the next paragraph. 1945年 in 1945, accompanied by the Upadhyaya 因为中文的话呢，它会有一个不一样的念法Upadhyaya the teacher in Chinese will be 亲教师Upadhyaya will be 亲教师在亲教师耶谢顿珠仁波切的陪同下耶谢顿珠 Rinpoche he journeyed to Tibet 仁波切远赴西藏where he took refuge with the revered 94th Ganden Tripa Lama 一指尊贵的第94任甘丹赤巴法王who's the person? Londro 宗主this 魂珠尊主and listen to the fourfold joined annotations of the great treatise on the stages of the path 于其座前听闻广论四家合著 So these would be like 4 different commentaries on the same text, Laman Chemo. Recently, it has been translated into Chinese. I don't know if we have English translation yet. But through this text, we will at least get the essence of all these teachings. So this one, so based on this text, based on this book, we will be learning, yeah, like concise version of this fourfold joint annotations of the Laman Chamo. Okay. So he started to know the meaning. He used to memorize them at the age of 4. Now he started to, and the outlines, but now he is learning in detail. And subsequently, he received successive transmissions of various scriptures, including the Vinaya treatise, compilation of the valid cognition, and commentary on the way of the Bodhisattva. Okay, so here is that text. Yeah, I was saying the introduction of the Bodhisattva path. So, 之后又陆续得到律学、释量论、入行论释等多部经论的传承。Okay, so he received the transmission. When we talk about this, receiving this transmission is like you know exactly how to interpret all these teachings. So the transmission is really hard to have because sometimes it's just you can't find someone who will be able to tell you the exact meaning. But it's good, like someone who will be able to tell you, and then you can receive that so-called the transmission teachings. And here it said like Vinaya treatise to receive this precept is one thing. To understand why I have to follow all these precepts is another. Yeah. So have this guidance, like showing you each like precept, like why you have to uphold this precept and follow this kind of code of conduct. Now there must be a reason. Yeah. And this Vinaya, this treatise will explain in detail. And compilation of this valid cognition is for debate, the debating techniques. Yeah. So like reasoning, logical thinking, all these will be put into the learning. Okay. And then commentary on the way of the Bodhisattva. So like you have the mindset, like Shantideva, his teachings. So you know that, for example, like endurance or like generosity, why you have to practice all these kind of Bodhisattva practice. Okay. And at the age of 20, he received full ordination as a bhikkhu in the presence of Lama Longdrup Songdru, and under the guidance of Troku Uchi, received the oral transmission of the collected works of J. Tsongkhapa and his spiritual sons. Okay. 20 years old would be the age to receive full ordination. Yeah, normally. In mainland China, used to be having like 15 years old monk or 16 or 18-year-old monk to receive this full ordination. Yeah. But mostly like 20.
Yeah, 20 should be.
Yeah, 20 should be. Yeah. And this Troku is like living Buddha. The living Buddha. And this Wuchi, I can't find any historical records of this person. Yeah, somehow he received this oral transmission. So what's the value of this oral transmission? We talk about the oral transmission. What would be the significance of this oral transmission?
Why? My understanding,
Yes.
is that historically, before the teachings were written down, which happened a couple hundred years later, everything was orally transmitted. So part of the heritage of Buddhism is that we continue this acknowledging person-to-person exchange of information or realization or teachings or understanding. So now we talk about oral transmission with text, meaning that I received it from a living person. Rather than just, I read something on the internet. I found a book. but that I had an actual connection with the community, and this goes back in history and time. And then it also connects you in a sense with like the blessings of the tradition, because you received it from a practitioner you respect, who also received it from a practitioner they respect, and so on and so on and so on. So for me, I think of myself as being like in part of a wave of people's practice and merit when I receive a text, whether it's instruction or just the reading, the oral reading, they say. They just read through the text to you, but without the explanation. It's more like a blessing. This is what I think about with oral transmission. It can also mean commentary, depending on the context. It could just be the reading of the text, or it could be reading and commentary.
Here, this case, like here in this case,
of all of Jason Kappa's collected works.
Yeah, the collected works of J. Tsongkhapa and his spiritual sons.
Yeah, when I've attended Gaelic oral transmission, they've just read very quickly through the text, and then afterwards they study the text.
Here might be yes, this would be also possible because he's now 20, so he's able to actually think on all these texts. So of course it will be like reading through like this, but also some of the transmission, like from the previous teachers, orally transmitting through previous teachers, so he knows some of the explanations. So kind of also like providing this non-written commentary, on the text. And recently, these are just been reviewed and published in Tibet. So, but I don't now still have not so many being translated into English. On the next paragraph, in 1949, Rinpoche entered the Losling College of Trepang Monastery in Tibet to commence his traditional monastic education. 1949年，仁波切进入西藏哲蚌寺的洛色林学院，展开传统的僧伽教育。Okay, so he at the time, like 3 grade monasteries, each of the monastery has at least 2 colleges, like to train these lamas, the future teachers, these monastics. And mostly they are separated, they are running independently. But with some big Dharma function, or some special Dharma gathering, they will all come together in a big group. Yeah. So where he took refuge were the his traditional monastic education. He took the former abbot Losang Rinpoche as his root guru and study scriptures under the tutelage of several fully qualified masters in both knowledge, comprehension, and actual cultivation. Okay, it's like 一指曾任住持的洛桑炯内仁波切为根本上师，并在多位校正具足的师长座前学习经论。So here, what would be the important part that when after you read this passage? What would be the importance of this passage?
You have many teachers.
Oh yeah, teachers. Yeah, many teachers is important. You have to learn from different teachers. And what else? There will be a root guru that he followed, right? This root guru will be always like someone he can go to and ask questions. And this very Rinpoche was not even a Ganden Tripa. Of course, Ganden Tripa will be very important person. So he must have someone assigned to be a root teacher to learn from. And of course, also have to learn from various teachers, especially all these teachers are both knowledge, comprehension, and actual cultivation. Yeah, they all went through all these. Yeah. So Not only the knowledge part they comprehended, but also the actual cultivation. They also have some fruitfulness out of this cultivation. After several years of diligent study, he successfully completed courses in subjects such as collected topics, classifications of mind, classifications of reasons, compilation of valid cognition, that one we mentioned, the ornament of realization of the perfection of wisdom. Yeah, he used to memorize the text. And the middle way, in a middle way, which is Nagarjuna's work. Okay, Lamarck just mentioned. In 1959, after finishing the first year of the Vinaya curriculum, the political upheaval in Tibet compelled Rinpoche to return to Ladakh. OK，所以依序完成社类学、心类学、因类学、质量论、现观及中观等课程。1959年，在律学第一年的课程结束后，遭逢西藏政局的变故，仁波切因此返回了拉达克。So we said that he was born in Ladakh. That was a good thing. Why? Because of political upheaval in Tibet, he won't be able to study there, but he at least have somewhere to go and receive protection. Yeah, you just go home, and he was from a royal family. Yeah, so would be well taken care of. That would be a good thing for him. Yeah, to keep this the textbooks probably he had to bring back, and probably some of the teachers should just go with him, back to Ladakh, probably, if it's possible. So he finished the Vinaya at least. And of course, some of the teachings, like a lot of the topics, collected topics and classification of mind, all these teachings are so important for important terms for debate. And understanding all these terms to debate and for debate, and also for comprehending the texts. Yeah, so all these terms would be have to learn through these texts. And then a few years later, when many students from the three major Gelug monasteries gathered in Dalhousie, this place in northern India, and upon the repeated encouragement of the master Jampe Kampe Rinpoche, Rinpoche went to Dalhousie and resided there for over a year. 数年之后，适逢格鲁三大寺的众多学者聚集于印度北方的拉扎湖西，在巨恩上师蒋贝参配仁波切多次的劝勉之下，仁波切也前往扎拉湖西住席约1年多。Okay, so that was after the upheaval, and now there are a lot of scholars, yeah, from Gelug monasteries. They all gathered in northern India. So of course, he been encouraged to go there and stay there for more than a year to study what? To study the Vinaya treaties and the treasury of higher knowledge. This treasury of higher knowledge is also very important. Like Kusha, Abhidhamma Kusha. Yeah, that one would be more like understanding this body and mind, and also related matters. So this would be also something to further study and enhance himself for the debate training. Okay. 期间针对律学与俱舍论进行更深入的研修与辩论啊。In 1972, he participated in the Geshe examination and was awarded La Rampa. La Rampa. So 1972年参加格西考试，荣获拉然巴格西。That's the first place. The first place in the class. First place in the class to receive this Geshe degree. It's like master degree or like PhD. Yeah, PhD degree. PhD degree. Yeah.
Postdoctorate.
Yeah, the doctorate. The doctorate. Yes, the doctorate. So subsequently, he entered the lower tantric college for 2 years of study on esoteric scriptures. And in 1975, he was appointed as the abbot of the lower tantric college. So like 2 years to finish the training. Supposed to be 3 years, but 2 years is enough for him. You could see like how he was very good at these tantric teachings. So learning very fast, and even became the leader of that college. Okay. During his 3-year tenure as abbot, in addition to rigorously maintaining the discipline and academic atmosphere of the monastic community, he incorporated formal doctrinal debate into the curriculum in accordance with the instructions of the Dalai Lama. Okay, so His Holiness, thereby enhancing the effectiveness of the monk's studies. This outstanding contribution earned him high praise from His Holiness. So what we can learn from this paragraph?
Brought good reform for the college.
Yeah, good reform for the college, and what else we can learn from this part?
Learned quickly.
Quickly? Oh yeah, we can discuss that. And what else? So the abbot, the duty for an abbot is to maintain this kind of good atmosphere. Like every monk should follow this rigorous code of conduct, especially this place. Oh, this Rizong Rinpoche. He is very famous for his strict way of guiding the monks. For example, like no women should enter into the monastery. Okay. And the lay practitioners, female lay practitioners, they can only gather outside of the monastery. They can't enter into the monastery. Yeah, because that monastery is for monks to practice. Yeah, that's just one part. But a lot of strict rules was emphasized by Rizong Rinpoche at the time. And what else? What else we can learn from here? Like after the upheaval in Tibet, the many precepts or like how to say the rules and regulations were not really well at the time. So he has to build an example there. Yeah. Like outside of Tibet. Yeah. So in the future they can have something like continually, yeah, to follow. Okay. 1984年. Okay, so let's take a look at page 4. In 1984, His Holiness appointed Rinpoche as the abbot of Losling college during his 6-year term in order to uphold the monastic precepts and enhance the learning cap capacities of the monks. Rinpoche strictly supervised the behavior of the monks, their attendance at religious assemblies, and their overall academic progress, significantly improving their study outcomes. In addition, following His Holiness' guidance, he collaborated with Sandong Rinpoche, then principal of the Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies in Varanasi, to devise a monastic education policy that integrated modern examination systems into the traditional monastic curriculum, thereby substantially raising the academic standards and educational quality of the monastery. Okay. This reform not only earned His Holiness's praises and support, but also widespread recognition and admiration. Furthermore, Rinpoche actively invited many distinguished scholars to return to the monastery for teaching, and each year different masters were invited to impart their teachings in order to preserve this precious lineage. Okay, this is something that we will discuss as well. Beyond managing the affairs of Losling College, Rinpoche also provided considerable attention and assistance to the development of other colleges, exemplifying his selfless and magnanimous spirit. Thank you. Magnanimous spirit. After relinquishing his position as abbot, Rinpoche undertook a 3-year and 3-month solitary retreat on the practice of Yamantaka, of unyielding valor at Deep Che Chokling Monastery in Ladakh, after which he orally transmitted the collected works of the patriarchal master and his sons to a group of disciples in the region. So this collected work should be the same book mentioned previously. Okay, the same collection, the same. So he started to teach. He used to receive the oral transmission. Now he's doing the same thing to his disciples. So he received this Yamantaka. He practiced his retreat in Yamantaka. So this venerable, you may share some
It's
Yamantaka.
a wrathful manifestation of Manjushri. So it's called the highest yoga tantra. So people do Yamantaka practice or other practices in order to kind of become that deity. And Yamantaka is then known for aggressively cutting through ignorance.
Yes.
So that you can realize the wisdom of emptiness. This kind of special focus. And then on a personal level, Yamantaka practice deals with people's anger, transforming anger into a source of wisdom, right? Because anger wants to cut away what it doesn't like, and wisdom, right, is cutting away ignorance from like truth, right? So very similar to this idea of Manjushri with the sword, right, cutting away the extremes of paternalism or nihilism.
Okay, so the lineage part is, the rare lineage, the precious lineage is something that they are protecting, and asking all these teachers who are able to explain, come to teach. So this is also the same thing, like who would just sit here and then go through all these texts and then knowing what's going on. This would also be like someday if someone asks you, would be able to explain something like that. Okay. So that's fourth and a fifth. On September 1st, 1995, His Holiness appointed Rinpoche as Jangche Chokje, the holder of the second highest legal seat of the Galu tradition. That's the Gadan Tripa to be. so to speak. Since 1997, Rinpoche has tirelessly and wholeheartedly propagated both the esoteric and esoteric teachings of the Buddhism around the world, including the period spanning 2 years, totally 6 months overall at Dharamsala, during which he orally transmitted the entire Kanjur, the collection of the Buddha's words. So, reaching very old age, he started to propagate to the general public. So, spending most of his time in the monasteries to do the training part. Yeah. To train all these monastics. That will be the main mission. So, for non-monastics to learn this is really unlikely. Yeah. For most of the people, very unlikely to receive. Yeah. So, and all these Gadan Tripos, they all came to Taiwan, like very interestingly. Or the Gadan Tripo to be, all these Rinpoches came to Taiwan like 10 years ago. Like incredible. So started to teach all this general public, especially in Taiwan. So they say like, oh, Taiwan is really a fortune land. Yeah, to receive all these teachings all at once. Like incredible. So on October 23rd, 2009, Rinpoche was appointed by His Holiness as the 102nd Ganden Tripa, the highest legal seat holder of the Galu tradition. And on October 26th of the same year, an enthronement ceremony was held in Norbolinka. Presently, in addition to being based at Losling College, where he lectures and expounds the Dharma for the monastic community and serves as an advisor on both religious and secular matter, Rinpoche, driven by compassion and altruism, continues to engage in extensive Dharma propagation activities worldwide for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, this is also part of the reason why we have this text here, yeah, because he started to preach around the world. And Rinpoche is deeply revered for his strict observance of precepts, profound knowledge, and diligent practice. Regardless of the teachings he studies, he constantly integrates them with the stages of the path Lamrim into his practice, thereby attaining an unparalleled and exceptional realization of the way. In the Tibetan Buddhist community, he is universally recognized as the great Dharma master who embodies the 10 perfections despite his complete doctrinal qualifications and exalted status. Rinpoches remain approachable and extraordinarily humble in his dealings with others. Through his lifelong practice, he has exemplified the best motto of following one's teacher. As His Holiness himself remarked, Rizong Rinpoche is a rare great Dharma master in today's world. Okay, translated and published by Bhikkhu, or Master Venerable Rushin, based on the Tibetan oral text, original text. Okay, so this 10 publications, we will discuss that later, but here we can also go through, like the first will be the disciplined through the Vinaya training, serene through Samatha training, and thoroughly pacified through Prajna Paramita, the wisdom training, has good qualities surpassing those of the students. Of course, then he became a good teacher, and energetic in teaching, always tirelessly, and has a wealth of scriptural knowledge, memorize all the teachings and knowing how to explain them, possessing love concern, so always treating people kindly, with compassion, has thorough knowledge of reality, and so thorough knowledge of reality that's through understanding of the text, of course, also the cultivation part, and skill in instructing disciples. So he will be able to instruct the disciples, and has abundant, desperate, abandoned, desperate, desperateness is like he will tirelessly teaching, like tirelessly teaching. Yeah. So be very patient in teaching. Yeah, that will be the 10 part of the qualifications as the Rinpoche, as a Rinpoche or as a Lama, a teacher. Okay. Sorry is like a quick wrap up, but any like insights to share or thoughts? Vivian, anything to add? Nope. Okay. Then why we go through this biography? It's also a very Lamrim thing. Like the very first thing of the Lamrim channel will be introducing the author. The author. Like why we learn from this person. Yeah. We have to know the author first. Yeah. So it's not like we're reading a novel, we don't know what the author is, but the excellency of the story is fine. But no, we have to learn that this author himself is well practiced and well knowledged and well trained and in the Dharma. So we're willing to spend time to study with the person. Yeah. Okay. And any questions?
Folks online, any questions or comments? And unmute yourself if so. Going once, going twice. Sold.
So, okay, so I'm here to just try to share whatever Teacher Tang showed us. We will just go through the text just like this. And then if there is anything to add, Teacher Tang would just add something to it and would ask some questions and show the importance of all these treasurable teachings, why they are treasurable and why we have to spend time to study and to know this, why this is important for our cultivation on the way to enlightenment. Okay, so now we have the general idea. So let's transfer the merits. May all the merits for today's study on Lamrim Chemo will be able to help us and also all sentient beings to attain enlightenment one day, or in the next lifetime will be able to reborn in the Western Pure Land, and ultimately we all can become a Buddha. So with the witness of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the Dharma protectors, we hope all these merits can be transferred. Amitofo. Thank you.